Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a detailed look at the very unique 2008 Buick Lucerne Super. Since I was able to film a Lacrosse Super some months ago, I thought it'd be nice to compliment with finding the Lucerne Super. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the Super. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, and show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank the Flow GM Auto Center, located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for allowing me to come out and film this 2008 Buick Lucerne Super. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. And as you can see, the Lucerne Super did come standard with a remote start. The exterior color is known as dark mocha metallic and is a signature color to the Lucerne Super. Inside features a two-tone cocoa and shale leather interior with suede accenting across the doors and the seats. Unique blue gauge is a part of the Super package. And gotta love that strong startup of that North Star V8. The Lucerne Super came standard with variable assist magnetic power steering, very fluidic, and a steering wheel with a combination of wood and leather. As far as the transmission, only one available was a 4-speed automatic gearbox with low gear selection. The beautiful wood shifter traipsed into a chrome housing. And so we're going to flip on the automatic headlamps, fog lamps, as well as the hazards. Both the front windows are automatic down, and all of the glass is laminated. So let's go and check out the exterior, shall we? The Buick Super moniker was first introduced in the early 1940s to designate a new, higher-end variant of the brand's current midsize offering, which then was a step up from the entry-level Buick Special. The Buick Super nameplate was used until 1958, where the name was then dropped from future use. This nameplate would always be known to label the brand's highest level of performance, luxury, and quality. Now, over 50 years later, Buick brings back that famous nameplate in the Lucerne and newly refreshed Lacrosse for 2008. Since 1958, even though Super was no longer a designation, Buick of course continued to produce their special performance and personal luxury cars, such as the Skylark Grand Sport and Riviera of the 1960s, to the GSX of the early 70s, and even the Grand National of the late 80s. As the average age of purchaser increased steadily through the 90s and 2000s, Buick decided to revitalize the brand as a premium motor car for the younger generation. The 2008 Buick Supers were that answer. While the Lacrosse shared basic construction and platform with the Chevrolet Impala, Monte Carlo, and Pontiac Grand Prix, the Lucerne borrows its roots from the more premium Cadillac DTS. Both Lacrosse and Lucerne Supers were specifically designed by GM's performance division to make it faster, handle better, stop quicker, and have more overall high-speed stability than any of its siblings. So as far as a quick background, the Lucerne first came out for 2006 as a replacement for the aging Park Avenue in LeSabre, and was built on the same chassis as the 2006 Cadillac DTS. Just as the DTS, they were produced in the same factory and came as front-wheel drive only. While the DTS came in V8 trim only, The Lucerne standard power plant in both CX and CXL trim was GM's proven 3.8-liter V6. The DTS's Northstar V8 was also added as an option to the Lucerne for 2006, making it the first Buick V8 car nearly a decade since the Roadmaster. The V8 was an option on CXLs while standard for the range-topping CXS. For 2008, the Lucerne Super replaced the CXS as Buick's most premium motor car, with a more powerful V8 and a host of quality and safety upgrades. Compared to the Park Avenue, the Lucerne is 3.6 inches shorter in length, 0.6 inches taller, while width decreases an inch. The Lucerne is also 4.4 inches shorter in length than the DTS with the same wheelbase and nearly identical curb weight if equipped with the V8. Otherwise, it weighs about 250 pounds less with V6 Lucernes. The Lucerne Super also saw a deserving refresh, which included an all-new bold waterfall grille with larger front air dam housing integrated fog lamps. This new styling would also be seen on future Buick models. You also saw revitalized styling all the way around to blend both edgy lines and elegant curves. The Super also gets its own unique touches as well, most notably being the 4 historical venti ports on each side that designate that it's a V8 car, a sign of status of the 1950s. V6 Lucernes feature 3 on each side for a total of 6, or V6. Overall, the Super is definitely a sleeper. It does feature unique front, rear, and side clips, but to the untrained eye, and ignoring the Super badge on the rear, you may pass it off as just another Buick land yacht. Out back, you have a pair of 3.5-inch chrome dual exhausts delivering a nice but subdued growl. It also features exclusive engineering known as quiet tuning to reduce, block, and absorb noise. Measures such as laminated side glass, extra sound deadening, and hydraulic mounts in the engine compartment are just a few of the enhancements, making the interior as quiet as can be. The Lucerne Super also receives a unique, more responsive steering gear, a new stability control system, and GM's magnetic ride control suspension, which is also standard on the CXS and is shared with the Cadillac DTS. It's able to detect road conditions and adjust almost instantaneously for the best balance between handling and comfort. Also new were lane departure warning systems and blind spot monitoring, in addition to standard parking sensors in the rear. The Super also receives its own 18 by 7.5-inch aluminum alloy wheels that can be had in either painted or chrome finish, wrapped in 245/50 all-season tires. Brakes consist of 12.7 by 1.2-inch vented discs up front, while 11.5 by 0.5-inch solid discs bring up the rear, providing good braking power. Car and Driver actually tested the CXS to stop from 70 miles an hour in 177 feet. As far as the suspension, it's fully independent coilover setup with McPherson struts up front and a trailing arm in the rear with lateral link, stabilized by front and rear anti-roll bars. Not to mention the magnetic ride control or magnetorological adaptive dampers that use magnets and metallic particles within the shock's fluid to alter viscosity based on demand and road surfaces. Overall length is 203.2 inches with a width of 73.8 inches and a height of 58 inches. Total curb weight, depending on how equipped, is around 4,013 pounds. Now we're going to pop the hood. The Lucerne Super shares the same V8 as the Cadillac DTS is equipped with the performance package, known as the Northstar NHP, which stands for Northstar High Performance. It's a transverse-mounted all-aluminum 4.6-liter dual overhead cam 32-valve V8 with port fuel injection and a compression ratio of 10:1. The Northstar NHP has a 6% or 17 horsepower increase over the standard 275 horsepower mill, making the Super have 292 horsepower at 6,300 RPM and 282 pound-feet of torque at 4,500 RPM with a 6,600 RPM redline. This translates to approximate performance numbers of 6.7 seconds to 60 miles an hour and quarter-mile times of 15 seconds at 95 miles an hour. Top speed is governed to 124 miles an hour. As far as fuel economy, with an 18-gallon tank on regular fuel, expect a miles per gallon rating of 17 city and 25 on the highway. As I mentioned earlier, the interior is trimmed specifically for the Lucerne Super, with better build quality, more sound deadening, and just about all the luxury features and technology you can get for the day. The build quality overall is your average typical GM quality of 2008, with extra soft padding on the touch points and other portions of the interior, being this is a more premium vehicle. Unique suede portions cover the doors and seat inserts, giving the interior a much more warm feeling. Supers also feature stitched cocoa leather that accents the doors and the dash with faux wood trim and chrome brightwork. The Lucerne is actually one of the last American vehicles that can be had with a bench seat up front. The Super came standard with the optional bucket seats though, wrapped in leather, as well as the perforated suede coming across the middle. They're fully electric with 4-way power lumbar adjustment, and the perforations work well keeping the seats ventilated with a heated and cooling function. Integrated side airbags, as well as adjustable seat belts and adjustable headrests. Logoed aluminum entry guard down below, as well as logoed floor mats. The steering wheel is actually the optional heated steering wheel, but it's standard for the Super and is power tilt telescoping. The leather cocoa portion up top of the dash features nice stitching that also wraps the length of the vehicle, giving a little bit more of a premium touch. So let's go and see how she sounds. And we're going to shut her up. This Lucerne came with the optional DVD-based touchscreen navigation mobile media telemetrics interface. Also, with a Harman Kardon premium surround sound system found in the Super, in-dash CD player, as well as standard XM satellite radio. Your Harman Kardon tweeters at the bottom of the A-pillar, which also house your side curtain airbags, cloth-wrapped visors with illuminated vanity mirrors, not to mention a standard auto-dimming movie mirror with compass, as well as integrated OnStar. In the top stack here you have 3-position garage home link, as well as the vehicle's reading lamps and hands-free telephone. These cars are never known for their use of premium materials. It definitely gives the appearance of so, with high-gloss veneers up top and down below, and polished silver accents that kind of mimic metal in a way. Definitely the leather across the dash adds to a premium feeling. Also standard on the Super was an electronic automatic dual-zone climate control system with your fan speed off to the left, different zones off to the right, as well as front and rear defrost, recycling and vent, as well as syncing temperature on both sides. Your temperature can also be adjusted via those buttons on each edge. Continuing down the center console, you have your traction control, as well as a little storage cubby with a 12-volt power outlet. Hold a little flat back and you have 2 adjustable cup holders, and leather-wrapped center console, 2-tier, with a good amount of space down below as well as up top. Overall, the multimedia system is pretty easy to use. This is our main radio screen where our presets are down below, and you can store 6 different menus of presets for a lot of different stations. Scanning between the specific media category that you want, and up top are your different radio modes, AM, FM, XM satellite radio, in-dash CD player, as well as auxiliary iPod integration up top. You can also set your clock by hitting that little button there, and other system settings including display, nav, radio, and your equalizer adjustments. Simple touchscreen controls allow you to easily adjust the functions, and if you hit the menu button up to the far right, it'll also bring it up. Now right now the navigation DVD is not currently in, but if you hit it, it would actually bring up the map instead of just a compass. You can dual yield your radio as well as your navigation data and see your clock located up top. Also to the left, you have your destination input that'll come up with the navigation DVD in place, repeating commands as well as favoriting functions. As far as the steering wheel, your radio controls are on the right with your volume controls at the back as well as your hands-free telephone. To the left is your cruise control as well as your heated steering wheel activation. To the far left are your lighting controls as well as interior lighting brightness, trunk release, and lane departure warning assist. Up top is your driver information controls, all located in the speedometer cluster. Basically, go in between your odometer, trip computer, fuel data, as well as other vehicle data. Not to mention all of your personalizable options. that shutter down. And we'll check out the back seat. Just as you'd expect in a full-size Buick, backseat room is plentiful. Soft, supple leather trim, accented in that suede as you found in the front seat. Also going across the doors. The back seat just swallows you in. In the middle of the package tray back there, you have a little LED indicator for the rear parking assist. I'm 5'10", with a comfortable seating position up front. Legroom's not a problem. Coat hooks up top, as well as your rear illumination, and side curtain airbags for the rear passengers. There's also a little trunk pass-through. And we're going to check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we? As far as cargo space for the Lucerne, it's around 17 cubic feet, which is pretty average for the class. There is a trunk pass-through like I showed you earlier if you need to stick some taller items through, but overall the rear seat does not fold down, which kind of impedes the cargo space overall. But basic long-term traveling is totally adequate. Heated and ventilated seats over here as well. As well as the same power adjustments in the passenger seat that you find on the driver's. Pretty good sized glove box, lined in felt. It's also illuminated. While the days of the American luxury land yacht has come and gone, the Lucerne Super is a great reminder of some of the unique performance applications you can have with this vehicle class, adding performance and practicality at a bargain price nowadays. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed this detailed look at the 2008 Buick Lucerne Super. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care, everybody.